Good morning, men. How are we doing? We were just saying there off camera, and Mark is looking particularly golden today.
Oh yeah, you think I'd be a bit darker considering I'm living over here, but it's
Well, like
actually
you said in episode number one, man, you barely leave the house. It's just gym, work, clients. It's not sunbathing that you're doing 24/7 anyway. That's for sure.
it's
No,
not. No. How are you, boys?
Good,
good,
good.
we're
How's
good.
your week been? How's training, Mark? Kuba and Meg were over. Have get some good sessions in.
Yeah, we trained upper, then we trained legs yesterday, and we trained legs 2 days ago. Upper today, legs tomorrow, and then they're going home.
Yeah, I seen you are moving on to an upper lower split. How did you feel about that?
The first upper session, halfway through, I was like, you know what, this is fucking nice. I really liked it, and then lower was good, so I'm excited because I know my legs probably need more frequency at the moment if they can recover from it. Because Jesus, man, I'm a sore boy today, and I'm like, I've legs again tomorrow.
I know, mate. Even for me, right? I trained with Kuba last weekend, and the session that fell yesterday, not yesterday, the day before for me, it just so happened it was like a duplicate of that session. Do you know the way you have two rotations of legs? But when I hopped in with Kuba, it was like I did my session, I repeated that session with Kuba, bar one exercise, and then I repeated that session again. So I basically have done the same session 3 leg days in a row. And my legs are fucked now. And somebody asked me in an Instagram, I commented on my Instagram, like, with your two rotations of legs, why do you do different exercises, sort of thing? I'm like, because your run rate for progression on those exercises is not going to be that high if you're just hammering them twice a week, every single, you know?
Hack squatting twice a week, you're not going to see much movement on that.
No, you
Well,
need the
if
variety in the movement parts.
I think if you only have one leg day a week, you can get away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think for me as well, I like the variety. I think it would be kind of boring to be doing just the same leg day all the time. Now I do actually like as well, Mark, because I've just moved to upper lower push pull legs. Honestly, most I've enjoyed my training in ages. I love it. I love that split. I love the higher frequency for legs because legs is obviously my favorite body part to train. And I really do enjoy the upper days as well. And the way we've got my split set up is, let's say, for example, like with a set split, right? So like Monday's always a rest day for me, Friday's always a rest day for me. That's a reason why I wanted to move on to that split.
Do you
as well.
like that? Yeah.
Yeah. Like I like that. I just wanted to fucking do it now just for structure and everything and just planning out my weeks a little bit better, right? And if I miss a session or if I need to take an extra rest day, you're like, my split's fucked up. How am I going to do it? But the way we've set it up is like, he's given me an adjusted upper day, which is just my pull and push amalgamated, and an adjusted full body day. So if I need to take an extra rest day at the weekend, if I miss upper for whatever reason, I can just do full body, which is just an amalgamation of them both. So that obviously brings the volume per muscle group down, but I'm still getting the frequency. I'm just getting less volume. So it's like I get an extra rest day and almost like a D-volume for both muscle groups. Does that make sense? So it kind of kills two birds with one stone. It's like you're getting an extra rest day to recover, but you got less volume as well, still hitting the same frequency. And then it's not like you're needing to take more days rest. You can just kind of roll back into your normal split, your normal structure. So it's really fucking good, man, because I've had to take 1 or 2 extra rest days, and even not next week, but the week after, I'm going to be dropping Chloe to the train station Wednesday. I'm going to be traveling home Friday. So I'm not going to be able to train 5 days that week, just with the way the week is falling. So I can just adjust the split.
That doesn't sound like a plug.
Huh?
Sound
Mate, I have to drive down to fucking London and back, right? And then I have to do a fucking 12-hour door-to-door journey to Ireland. Will you fuck off?
Mate, if you want to make it work, you'll try it at 5 a.m.
And they're on the train to fucking or to London.
Yeah, that's true. No, I probably
the last you'd hear of.
I probably could train the Wednesday to be fair.
But it's just with the trial. You're going on the boat, though, aren't you? You're going on the ferry. Yeah. So
I always do, man. I always do because I'm living out in the sticks, like in Tipperary.
how long is it? Is it on the ferry? Because I was considering doing it.
On a good day, be 10.5 hours to 11 hours.
I was thinking 6 in my head. I'm kind of like, now, geez.
No, mate, because like,
is it going to Wexford? Is it Dublin or Wexford?
It goes to Dublin, so it's 3.5 hours from 3 hours maybe if you leave super early in the morning from Rotherham to Holyhead. Then you obviously have to kind of wait about an hour to get on the ferry, right?
Yeah.
Then the ferry is 3.5 hours. Then you fucking wait another half an hour to get off the ferry. And then it's 2.5 hours from Dublin to basically my Dublin ferry. And if you were to go to Waterford, Mike, it probably would it take you 2.5 or would it take you 3?
From Dublin,
Yeah.
it'd be 2.5 probably max. Like, because Cork is like that kind of 3 window anyway. But yeah, so I'll look into it. I'll see, because where I am now, I say Holyhead's probably an hour 45, probably an hour 50 from here, give or take. So I'll see. We'll see what will
It
happen.
was a lot quicker for me when I lived in Manchester. It was a lot easier to just like
I'd say so.
walk 10 minutes down the road, get on a train for 10 minutes, and then just fly. That was very handy when I was in Manchester. But look, fuck it, it's all good.
Priorities now. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, the upper lower split is a game changer, I think.
Do you know,
enjoy
I'll
it.
probably be similar to that soon enough, because like I'm push pull legs and then just like a push arms and posterior, because like I was kind of running that, but what I'm looking with the posterior is that like literally I'm fucked coming through the end of that, and then I'm kind of hitting 2 back exercises at the end, whereas I'm probably not getting the most out of that. Like I'm going to run it for 2-3 weeks, because like I'm only started blast, so I'm just going to watch the progression for 3-4 weeks. And in my head, I was like, I'd probably switch that eventually to upper lower anyway. Because you know yourself with the posterior, like when you're bait from legs, like with RDLs and all that in there, and you're coming then to do 2 back movements, 2-3 movements,
I
is
think if you're doing like heavy hinges like that, Mike, you nearly need upper lower rest, push pull rest, legs rest. You nearly kind of need it to kind of almost be like that in a way, because
you
like
do.
if you're doing your hinge on a leg day anyway, or a posterior day, if it's upper posterior sort of a thing, it's just so hard to recover from that lower back loading. Do you know?
I know. Like you'd feel it through 2-3 days. Like that's the thing about it. Like so, and that's going to look at. And do you know something else you were saying there as well? Like, do you know when you miss a session, how do you like say like working with clients now as well? Like when you see them and you see their schedule, do you know, like when you're on their check-in sheets, you'll see like you'll have their training, like whatever day they'll log their sessions. And when you see 4 to 5 sessions in a row, and then you'll see the 2-3 sessions off, because like we see it the whole time, and it's people's anxiety about, oh, I needed to get my 5 sessions in, so I did Monday to Friday. So here's the question for people listening: is how do we approach this? So Dara, Mark, what do you say to a client in that situation?
I call people out for this every single week on a weekly basis. I'm calling the same people out multiple times for this thing. I just say, look, like you're not going to be recovering well, or you're not going to be given those sessions the correct intensity if you're doing, especially when a client has like an upper lower split and they're doing upper lower, upper lower. I'm like, step back here and think about what you're doing. You know, you're training your upper body twice in the space of 3 days and your lower body twice in the space of 3 days. And then you're telling me like your numbers are down this week and you feel a little bit battered. I'm like, it's no wonder. I would actually rather a client miss a day and take an extra rest day than try and squash their days together. Or they come back from sickness. You've probably seen this as well. They come back from being sick and they train 5 or 6 days in a row, and you're like, what the fuck you are? You know, this is going to put you back in that hole that you just got out of.
Yeah.
So, yes.
I actually done a reel on this the other day that I have the post as well, about sometimes you'll see on the check-in form, you'll see like upper and then push.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you can't train, like if you hit upper, for example, and you're pressing, yeah, and then you're going in to try and push the next day, you're still hitting the same body parts, so you're not going to be recovered. So I'm like, right, I have a client at the moment who he wants to train 5 days, so we put him onto a 5-day split, but with his work, he can't really dictate when he can train, so he's missing a day, and then it's like 5 days in a row, and I'm like, look, let's just pull it back to 4, because when you have the 4 in, you can precision, you can recover better. And if you're trying to do 5, it's causing you more stress because you're missing sessions. And then the sessions you do, they're lower quality because you're trying to string 5 of them together. So I think sometimes for people, pulling them back to less sessions allows them to get more out of the sessions. But not only that, it takes the stress off them in their personal life because they're not rushing around trying to cram things in, and they just enjoy the process more as well.
Yeah, that is a big one as well. The stress of thinking like, oh, I need to do all these sessions. And a lot of times as well, people place, obviously training is important, right? But the clients would place too much of an emphasis on training. They think if I'm not getting to the gym, I'm not going to make any progress. I have to do my sessions to lose this body fat. Whereas the training sessions aren't burning any fucking body fat. It's going to be sticking to the diet and making sure they're hitting their output every single day. You know, they kind of maybe might overemphasize the training a little bit too often. But yeah, I'd always rather someone take an extra rest day than to be squashing sessions together. And I have a guidelines tab in all my spreadsheets. And rule number fucking 1 in the training guidelines is you must stick to the order of the split and the rest days in between and blah, blah, blah. It's like number 1 rule on there, but like still people just don't fucking read it. So
Hey, them documents now, they're more excited to see the split in the diet than actually read through anything
I
else.
know, it's like you send someone over their plans and then they're like asking you a question like, did you watch the 25-minute video I
What's
sent you?
going?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
God.
it always happens. Going back to upper lower there, boys, just once we're on it, right? I remember running upper lower for quite a long time when I was in college, back before it was cool. You know, I was reading too many T Nation articles or something like that. Got this notion into me I was going to do upper lower. But I did upper lower, upper lower, upper lower, rest on a Sunday because I always trained 6 days a week and I always rested on a Sunday since I started to the gym, right? And I remember that was back. All my training was squat, bench, deadlift, bent over rows, things of that nature. My lower back, lads, I swear to fuck, because I could do like upper with like barbell overhead military press on a Monday, right? On a Tuesday, I'd be doing barbell bent over rows. Then I'd go back in, I'd be doing bench press. Then I'd be going back in again, I'd be doing conventional deadlifts. And it was just like all these big, huge compound movements, 4 sets, fucking 8 to 12 reps all the time. And I was broke up off it. And I never forget, I loved that split. I really enjoyed it. I loved the upper lower sessions. And I actually loved the frequency of like, oh, great, I get the deadlift like twice a week, every week, you know? But I was fucking crippled from it. Absolutely crippled. Even at the same time, I think I did make good progress. Do you know that?
I ran something similar there. I used to run the Arnie split, so it was push pull legs, rest on a Sunday. So it was for push, for example, I would do like 4 chest exercises, 4 shoulder exercises, 4 tricep exercises, all 4 to 5 sets, 10 to 12 reps. Mate, that is crazy. And I used to train 6 days through. And when you think back, I'm like, I think back to how bad I felt at the time, but I just thought that was normal. There was no like fatigue management. It was like, great, I'm meant to feel like this.
I sometimes think I should maybe program like that a little bit more for clients who are newer or more basic, because obviously we all do execution clips, right? And like sometimes if a client is, you know, maybe at a relative like beginner level and we're going through execution, I'm like, yeah, they are improving their execution. Yeah, they're improving their training intensity. But sometimes I think, is 2 sets enough for them? You know, are they really connecting with the muscle like we can? Like 2 sets is enough for us, right? 1 set is nearly enough for us at the level we're at now. But sometimes I think like when I started off, I didn't have that mind muscle connection. I didn't have that like real high level of accuracy. And like even if someone's doing execution clips with you, you can't teach that in a couple of weeks. That's learned over time through repetition, and getting experience and skills, because it is a skill to train, right? So like sometimes I wonder like, fuck, like, should people be doing higher volume earlier on in their journey and then lowering the volume as they're
It's like what we all would have done at the start, because like it depends probably on what a client's goal is. Like obviously, if they're new enough into the gym, it does like you know that like if you have say like a female client who's like not wanting to compete, not wanting to do anything, 3 sets like 10 to 15, 8 to 12, like will sit them through lovely. And like the same thing like what you're saying that there like if we had say you're a male client, I want to bodybuild in 2 years time, I want to do a show. It could nearly like that make sense to run them for the first 6 months, run them training here, let them build up their confidence in the gym, the movements, and then start kind of working their volume. Because like you said, 2 sets, like are people giving everything to 2 sets when they're new to the gym? No, like it'll take that 6 to 8 months to get used to it. So it probably is an interesting topic to look at.
What I like to do is when I see someone training, first of all, you nearly know by looking at a physique how someone trains. If someone like really is a beginner and you know they don't train, you know, super accurate and intense, you know, initially, I won't mind having their volume a lot higher. And then as they progress and as we get their form better and execution better, I'll start pulling things down. And then they'll be like, Mark, why are we doing less here? Like I want to do more.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, because look, the quality of your training is improving. So we're pulling the volume back so you can recover more because you're getting more from your sets. And then as we start to pull the volume back, then they're getting stronger. They're like, oh, Jesus, you know, I'm really seeing progression here. So I don't mind starting them off higher volume when I know that they're not, you know, at a high level of having been training for years. And then as they get better, then start driving the volume a little bit lower because they're getting more from the sets.
I definitely think that's a sensible approach, to be honest, because like, you know, I always kind of look back early on in my journey and think, oh, should I start doing this a little bit earlier? Should I start doing things a little bit different? But like, I feel like everything I did for that period of time was the right thing to do. Because you need to kind of fuck around and find out, and you need to try different things, and you need to know what it feels like Mark said, to completely overdo it with the volume and feel battered all the time and have tendonitis in your elbows and your knees 24/7, and et cetera, et cetera. And then when you find the better way of doing things, you're like, like that's where
No,
you're
it makes
getting the
sense.
experience to pass on to people, isn't it?
But it's just such a good kind of learning curve like that. Because like when you're saying your sets, like I did similar to Mark, I did push pull legs, push pull legs. But then I got to a stage where I experimented to 2 sessions a day. So say I was working 8 to 5 in Waterford in the engineering job. I used to go to the gym for 5:30, 6, train whatever I could train, like say chest and shoulders, and then get that done for like in an hour. Get to work, shower, work the day, and then when I finish work, straight back to the gym where I could have arms, like I could do biceps, triceps, rear delts. Like I ran a split like that for a while, doing 3 sessions a week, double sessions, and then 3 sessions, singular sessions.
Is this off your own back, Mike, or did Jamie have you doing this at the time?
This was my own back. This is before anything there, and like I'm trying to remember. The Jamie's training was the high volume, would have been that 4 sets of like crazy, like 30 sets in a session. But like for my own back, like that's what I just experiment. I can't remember why I did it. I can't remember what I looked up. It was probably just seeing some of the pros at the time, like seeing them going into Gold's Gym, like on YouTube, so that they did morning session, evening session, hitting legs like hamstrings in the morning, quads in the evening. Did any of you ever try that?
I think I might have for a very short period of time when I actually had the time to do it when I was at college and I fuck all else to be doing, But I didn't like it. I just felt like the intensity wasn't really there, because I feel like when you're going into the gym and you got one session, you're like, right, this is it. This is my fucking hour. Whereas you're kind of going in the morning, you're like, I have to come back later in the evening. It's just, I don't know. I didn't personally like it.
No, looking back now, like it didn't make any sense to that, because like you're not getting you're like, I love my sessions when they're an hour 45, 2 hour long session. I love knowing that. Whereas when you have them shorter, like the double sessions, like you could be 45, 50 minutes out, and like it is like a pump exercise in your back. Like there's no real runway for progression, really. Like if we're looking at that,
it's funny that you say that about the time as well, Mike. Right? Because now my sessions are probably around an hour and 20 minutes ish, because the volume is much lower, right? And I used to spend genuinely 2.5 hours most days in the gym when I was younger, especially when I was in college and I was doing 4 sets of everything and doing tons and tons of exercise and crazy high volume. But I used to, at that time, love being in the gym. Like I could have everything done, and I go, I do a lot of back exercise. I'll throw in a bit of traps. I'll throw in a few shrugs. I'd just be looking for extra shit to do in the gym because I didn't want to leave, because I love being in the gym that much. And now I get into the gym, and it's not that I'm rushing to get out of the gym, but I'm like, by the time I get to the end of my session, I'm like, right, I'm done. Home, post-workout meal, recover, back in again tomorrow, It's weird, the way it's kind of changed over time. Maybe that's due to the training intensity. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, I used to do so much in the gym, and I'd never leave the gym as well until I felt, if I was doing back, for example, I'd never leave the gym until I felt like I literally can't move the weight anymore. I just keep doing extra sets and extra sets and extra sets until I just couldn't fucking do any more. Like I could barely move.
I think the difference is now you know what a successful session is. So you don't, I think in the past we used to try and bury yourself to the point where we felt fucked in every way. But I think now we know when a muscle is destroyed. And the rest of your body might be absolutely fine. When you know, right, I've stimulated that muscle, I've broken it down, I've taken progress, you know that you can go home, you can eat, you can sleep, you can rest. You don't feel like you need to be there. Whereas I feel like when we were younger, we didn't have that standard, or we didn't really know what we were looking for. So we just do extra to try and make up for the, just in case.
Yeah.
Just in case I didn't do the job, I'll just fucking do this extra 7 sets.
Mm-hmm.
Extra 7, yeah.
And more isn't always better. And it's funny you say that as well, Mark. It just makes me think of like on prep, and when you get in that prep mindset and prep mentality, you want to do more and more and more. Like this last prep, I probably did less than I ever did. And I think, obviously, seeing the results of the prep and how everything panned out for me, it was like, okay, right, there's a certain amount that you need to get done. And I mean, like, I get up in the morning, right, and like you do all the shit you need to do. You go to the gym, you train. I just do enough in the gym. Come home, I'd be like, right, my steps are done, my training session's done. I just do nothing now. I just relax. I don't need to do more or need to be thinking even about bodybuilding until tomorrow. I'm like, that's it, that's enough, that's done. Stimulus, rest, and then just recover and crack on. It's like you don't have to just suffer, do more cardio, harder training. A lot of people just kind of burn themselves out in a prep, don't they?
Yeah, definitely. Like as you said there, it's doing too much. And like I was listening to, I had a podcast on, was it yesterday or the day before, where who was on it again? Was it fuck's sake, I have to remember there now. The name's gone off my head. Oh man, it's embarrassing. What Canadian bodybuilder, black lad, cute, great genetics, HD muscle. What? Quinton, sorry, I don't know who's going through my head. He was on a podcast with this lad, and they were just chatting about him self-coaching and difference from when he was doing with Matt, doing like 2 hours of cardio and going into training, and literally like in prep that he used to batter himself, getting up at 5, doing the hour or whatever cardio, training at 11, sending it, and then going back to another hour of cardio, and he'd be so destroyed. And I think, as you said, when we do less, like for us now, like, did any of us, like none of us did cardio on prep, did we?
I've never done cardio on a prep ever.
Mm.
And I love cardio. It's not because I'm a lazy fucker,
Yeah.
but because if I do it, I just fucking fade away. I know I would.
I used to do it.
Yeah.
I've done like an hour on the stairs a day.
And that was when you were self-coached though, Mark, wasn't it? Or
yeah. The only time I've been properly coached into a show is when I started working with Cuba. I worked with a guy back in Dublin, JJ Dunn. So we were training together, and he kind of oversaw everything. So that was for one of my preps. But the only place I was being properly coached by into a show is Cuba. That was the first one, but all the other preps were self-coached. And that was just like in every other show, it was like, it's just how much can I bury myself? Like how hard can I make it? Because the harder it is, the leaner I get. And that's why I was always kind of known in Ireland for always going to have good condition at a show, because I wasn't afraid to push it to that. Now I was fucking small and stuff, but at least I was conditioned.
I was just laughing there, Mark, because I remember you told me about your diet for your first prep. You didn't have any sauce. You didn't have any salt either with any of your meals for like weeks straight. Just wanted to suffer as much as possible.
My first prep was 16 weeks.
Like, your pumps must have been wank.
16 weeks. And no seasons, no sauces, no coffee, no nothing. Just plain food.
Just plain food.
I fucking loved it.
Just raw dogs the fuck out of it, like.
I loved it.
But you know, that probably set you up so well.
Every prep after that
because you could do that.
Mate, not even prep. Life has been easy since then.
Yeah.
Mentally, that just changed me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can agree with that as well. I remember when I did my first prep, and off the back of it, you're just never the same. You're just never the same. Your discipline is leveled up forever, you know? And like for all of us now, we've done, you know, we've dieted enough and we've prepped enough that like it's easy. Obviously, it's not super easy, but relatively, it's quite easy, you know, to what maybe somebody else would find it. Like I always go on about this. It's like effort is like perceived, isn't it? And difficulty is like perceived completely differently by different people. So what's hard for us might be fucking impossible for someone else, or what's easy for us might be still quite for someone else.
It feels like as well, like it's easier because we know we're going to do the work. Like we know that the plan for the week is laid out, that we're not going to miss that we're not going to have a reason to stress it, to do this. Like say if Cuba gives you like, this is your calories, this is your steps, this is your recovery metric. You're going to do it and you trust them. And that's the difference. Whereas that's the problem with people, their first time going into prep, like as they said, they want to bury themselves. You tell them to take a deload, take 3 days off training during prep. A lot of people, it sounds like it's going to be the worst possible thing. I'm going to lose muscle, I'm going to go backwards. Like it's getting that mindset in around everyone that at times we need to be able to pull back and to understand that burying ourselves is not going to set us forward.
And look, that's kind of earned as well, because when I did my first prep, right, I didn't have a single refeed or high day until I was like 8 or 9 days out. And I think I had like 1 day of higher carbs, and then I had like my 2 high days before the show of peaking, right? And my calories towards the end were like 2,100, but that was including, I was tracking 15 grams of mustard. I was tracking 200 grams of tender broccoli. I was fucking being and tracking.
Everything on that.
So like realistically, if I was prepping now, it wouldn't have been 2,100. I probably would have been fucking eating about 1,900 or 1,800, you know? I did that for like the last maybe 3 or 4 weeks. And before that, it was like maybe 2,300. But I was below 2,300 calories for about 8 weeks towards the end, I would say. And I still wasn't in shape. Because back then, right, I didn't fucking take deloads. I didn't have many refeeds. I didn't have much of a step back. I was doing 13,000 steps almost every single day. But like, that was just because that's what I needed at that time based off the level of muscle that I had. So it's like your first prep is probably going to be your hardest because you've never done it before. You will have to do more output. You will have to eat less food, right? So you get through that first prep and then you do massive off season, you build a ton of tissue. Your second prep will be easier because not only do you have the experience, the discipline, I haven't done it before, you're going to be bigger. You're going to be able to get away with probably doing less, you know, if you off season correctly, caveat. So yeah, I just thought that was quite interesting because like, you know, people probably watch this and listen to us and go, oh yeah, fuck, geez, I'd just be a lazy bollocks and prep and I could just, you know, I'll just take deloads and eat food. Yeah.
I think people listening to, or so like I always used to say, like when I was vlogging for, you know, coming into the shows and stuff, I was like, look, this is easy at the moment, but don't get it twisted. It's not easy. I've done this so many times that it's not that I find it easy. It's just that I'm accustomed to how difficult it is. I think that's what comes down to it as well. So I think I don't like saying, I was almost afraid to say, this is easy because I don't want people getting the wrong perception. People only starting or only prepping for the first time. It's fine. He's saying it's easy because it's not. The deeper into it you get, the easier it gets because you're just used to it. It's not that it gets easier. You're
accustomed to that feeling that literally like it's easy. Like when we say it's easy at that moment because we know what's coming. We know what is going to be happening when we're 2-3 weeks out. That we know that's when it's going to be that little bit difficult, when sleep gets a little bit of a hit.
And the thing is as well, like that, like you said, Mark, like you kind of have to be careful with what you say because I feel like it is perceived to be very easy these days because if you are following someone who's doing their fourth fucking prep and they're going for their pro card or whatever on Instagram and they're like, a couple of weeks out, easy guys, this is fucking breeze, blah, blah, blah. And you've never competed for the first time, you're going to be thinking, fuck you, this prep stuff, I kind of like the look of this and this person's getting all this attention and geez, they look great and I want to do that. And then you fucking get a couple of weeks into prep and you realize, oh shit, this is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. And this is where a lot of the fitness industry, bodybuilding industry is at right now. You know, that's why so many people are pulling their preps these days. That's why so many people have bad relationships with food post show and et cetera, because they're probably getting into it for the wrong reasons or they have false expectations of what it's actually going to feel like, you know? So,
like, you know, if you hear, you know, people saying, Jesus, you know, my legs are feeling very heavy, like fucking hell, like I nearly passed out, like at the end of cardio, and like, I don't think people understand. Yes. Yeah. Like, like, I'm not saying like it's normal, but like I've passed out. You feel like you're going to die. It's literally going to, like, am I able to make it through today? And it's not like, oh shit, I need to pull back. No, you need to push on through that fucking day.
Yeah.
It's not meant to be easy.
That I want to just go over that as well, Mark. Like that is normal. Like feeling like you're going to pass out. I remember my first prep, literally, I'd do a set on hack squat and I'd get off and I'd nearly fall over on the ground because everything would go black. I'd even lose my hearing, let alone like my vision and my hearing would go all of a sudden. Like I actually passed out. I'd have to sit down, compose myself, and then I just have to do my back offset. And the same thing happened after my back offset. Like it just happens. Like
it's accustomed to it. And like, you know, like something I'd see with clients as well, especially if they're doing their first preps and like when they're the tail end, like that final 2-3 weeks, the questions they always ask is, especially like say if they're in work or if they're sitting down, you know what it's like if you're on prep and you're low food output, if you stand up very quickly and you get that rush of blood to the head, you feel like you're going to fall over. And that's always the question. It's like, I just stood up in work to go to the toilet and I felt dizzy and I was going to pass out. Is this normal? Like for us, like, it shouldn't be normal in every day-to-day life, like of a normal person. But within bodybuilding, as much as you're saying to a client, like, you don't want to justify, but like, yeah, that's okay. You just need to be like, you just need to think about when you're standing up, take your time, you know where you are, your energy's low, your body fat is low, it's fighting against you. Like, it's a little bit.
If you feel like that, or you feel a little bit hyper or a little bit shaky, You don't need to eat 2 Rice Krispie Squares bars, okay? You just need to fucking write it out. The hypo will actually go away on itself. Your body is good at
The
regulating.
hypos can be one of the funniest ones because, like, I think people just don't understand how simple it is to get out of like a mild, like a low one. Like, we know the difference between a crazy one. Like, literally, like, the problem is when someone gets a little bit of a hypo, they're going to keep eating until the feeling goes away. They're not going to have that maybe like 15, 20 gram of carb from what, say, like you could have prune juice, orange juice, you could have something like that, and then literally sit there for 10, 15 minutes and it'll just go. It's that aspect of just feeding, and you're probably 200 carb in. You're like, it's gone.
It's the mental thing, though. It's out of the fear that the hypo is going to come back. I think sometimes if you get a particularly bad hypo as well, you'll eat and then you'll start to feel normal again, but you'll still almost be a little bit
groggy from it.
I got like a hypo that probably nearly killed me one time, and ever since then I've been able to deal with hypos a little bit better. I don't know
it's the story with the Nova Rapid.
Yeah, I don't know that I
ever this one.
And it's so funny. The same thing actually happened to Mantis Mark. I was chatting to him about it recently because he put it up in the story. I was like, mate, no way. And the similar thing kind of happened to us. He was in a little bit of a worse situation because he had no carbs with him. But I remember it was just when I'd started taking Nova, like Kuba had just added it into the plan. And I had like the pen, right? So you do like fucking 5 units on the pen. You just twist it and you just pop it in easy, right? But the plunger at the end of the pen breaks. They're very flimsy, aren't they? The plungers on the end of those fucking pens. So that had broken. So I had to just use a normal insulin pin, like a 30 gauge, right? Or 29 gauge. And obviously I was using that for my GH at the time. And when you pull 2 IUs of GH, it's 20 on the insulin pin, right? But you mix that down with fucking water, right? So I thought, oh yeah, fucking 5 IUs on this, 5 IUs of insulin. It's half the insulin pin. But it was 50 units of Nova that I was after taking. So I was meeting one of my friends for like a coffee, right? And I went into the bathroom. I took the fucking insulin. And I remember thinking when it was going into my fat, my belly, going, geez, that was a lot of liquid. It seemed like I was plunging that a little bit more than the pen. And I was thinking in my head, well, maybe the pen's a little bit wider. When you've got a tall glass of water versus a wide cup of water, I was kind of, trying to rattle it.
Justifying it.
Yeah, justify it in my head like that. And when I got out of the bathroom, I had my pre-workout meal with me, right? So it was a big meal. It was like 120 grams of cream of rice, banana, nut butter, like the whole shebang. It was probably like 150 grams of carbs, right? So I ate that, and then I was drinking my coffee, sitting, right? So that did me for about an hour, like, right? And then I was like, right, Chrissy, I'm going to the gym. I was dropping him home, and it was winter, right? And I was wearing like North Face jacket, hoodie underneath, because it was cold. I was dropping him off to the gym, and I was like, fuck, you warm, boy? He's like, no, it's freezing. I was like, I'm fucking sweating here. And it was like, when I was driving the car, I had like tunnel vision, right? Like everything else you can see in front of you, but everything else outside of that starts to go blurry. So I was like, what the fuck's feeling real off? Dropped him off anyway, got up to the gym. When I was so warm and I was sweating so much, when I got into the change rooms, I stripped everything off. I was already in my gym clothes, ready to train, stripped everything off down into my jocks. I was like pacing around the change rooms, being like, am I going to fucking cool down here? And I just put my clothes back on, went down into the gym. I kind of knew what was happening, but kind of didn't know what was happening at the same time. And I remember I was doing legs, but I started off with like a easy bar bicep curl at the start of the session, because that was just tagging arms at the start of the session at that stage. And I never forget it, because I went to curl the easy bar and my legs started buckling from underneath me. So it was like, if you have like a seesaw and it's going like that, my legs were just like buckling underneath me. I was like, something's seriously wrong here. I text Ryan at the time as well, Ryan Urkel. I was like, I think I'm after doing this here, blah, blah, blah. He was like, yeah. He's like, do you have any carbs with you? And I had like my intro workout drink with me. It was trained by JP Sustain, and he was like, down that. And I'll never forget. I was like, fucked. I was nearly going to pass out. I went up to the counter, the gym and everything as well. And like, I was like absolutely fucked. And I downed that. And I'm not joking. Within like a minute or two, like 60 to 90 seconds was perfect. Because like they say intra, it passes like your gut barrier very quickly. It fucking does, let me tell you. I downed that intra and I was like, boom, a couple of seconds later, I was perfect. So it really, really fucking does work. So intra workout, guys, good stuff.
Get on it.
Yeah, I'll never forget after that, I had my Cocoa Pops out in the car, went out, I was munching the fucking Cocoa Pops, trying to make sure I didn't like dip back down again. Went to the shop, got some jellies, fucking eating those on the way home. And I was fucking slammed for the rest of the evening. I felt drained. But yeah, that was a lesson learned.
Did you finish the leg session?
No, mate, I did I swear to fuck, I actually did a couple of exercises after that. And then I was texting Ryan the whole time. I was like, that's fine, the intro track. And he's like, that should do you for X amount of minutes, because it was X amount of carbs or whatever. We were trying to roughly guess what it was. And I was kind of going through the session, but he was like to me, oh, well, at least you get a good pump. but like I wasn't getting a good pump. I was fucked, like. And then I was worried in my head. I did 1 or 2 exercises. I think I did like 1 set of Smith squats, and I was like, nope, I'm out of here, because I was like, what if I start going hypo again? Like, and I was thinking in my head, the more I'm training, the more energy I'm using here, the more carbs I'm burning. So it's just going to hit me again, you know. And I didn't want to pass out in the gym and have them fucking ringing an ambulance for me. That'd be an awkward moment. And I think at this time, I think this was just before, like, I sat my parents down and told them I was taking gear. So I was like, you know, I didn't.
Yeah, that would have been good timing.
Yeah. Texted me from the hospital, waking up, going, oh fuck. But yeah, look, I suppose it's
Life lessons learned.
Yeah. Definitely still not as bad as some of the experiences I had taking recreational drugs, though. That's for sure. So.
Oh God.
Any similar experiences like that? No.
Not with insulin. Not with anything like that. No. I never got to that stage. The only one I had, the worst hypo I remember having, was in Marbella, and it was like 38 degrees. And I was walking where I lived. There was a big hill to go up. And I remember I was walking back from the shop, and I was like, I said, I can ride this out. I can get home. But literally, when I was walking up the hill, it looked like by the time I got to the front door, it looked like I was thrown in a swimming pool. Like I was completely drowned, and like I was nearly crawling in the door. I got into the chair like this. I've never been in the chair, and it was like that. I can't remember. I had an intracarb, and I think I put in like 2 scoops into it, shaked it up, and just sitting there like this till I recovered from it. But not to your level at all. But it's just like that. Like it's the heat, like over there. Like it was crazy when that one hit. But what about Mark? Passing out in the Stairmaster maybe, or close on it?
No, I had to be carried off a cross trainer before. I kind of fell off, and then the fella I was working with had to, like, you know, like kind of put me over, like around the shoulder, and kind of drag me over. That was like my first prep, but nothing with insulin or anything.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, the only time I kind of feel like that is, you know, when you're at your heaviest ever.
Yeah.
You go like on a walk, and you get back in, and literally from walking you feel hypo, because you're just, you feel dizzy, you're soaking, lower back pumps, shins, fucking everything.
Yeah, that was me when my Easter was high. When my Easter was high there a couple of weeks back, and the pumps in my lower back, I could barely walk up and down the road here. That's when I knew. I was like, there's something fucking off here. But yeah, no, it's all Gucci now again, thankfully.
What is Chloe's gone to Australia, isn't she?
She's going in 11 days.
Oh, I thought she went.
11 days. Nah, she's not going yet. So 11 days, she's going 17th or something like that on a Wednesday. Yeah.
How long? About a month, is it, or 3 weeks?
She's going for like 3 weeks, man. Yeah, because her sister's living over in Sydney, so like she'll have free accommodation. So like it's grand for her, you know. She just go over there, stay with her, and then they've a load of different things planned, travel and this and that, you know. Because I think her sister's only going to be over there for a year. I don't think she wants to stay for like too long or anything like that. So I suppose it's kind of now and never for Chloe to go over. I was gonna go over with her. I was kind of thinking about it, but I'll probably do some traveling end of next year for a year or two, and I'll probably just go over then, because Chloe's uncle actually lives in Perth, and he's got like his own garage there. Well, you'd love this, Mike. Actually, he does all like high end cars and stuff. So like Porsche, Ferrari, like all that. He used to go on, like, not like, are they the gumball rallies? They probably are. They do those, but he's done them like around Australia, even around like Africa and stuff.
Yeah,
he used to travel with like Porsche and Ferrari and stuff, and like fix all their cars for those like rallies that they do. So he's like, you know, not just your average mechanic. Like, so he's fucking fairly flush. He's living over there in Perth, and he said it to us a few times, like, "Oh, come over, I'll give you a car to drive, blah blah." So like, I'll definitely end up going over there at some stage. I've never been to Australia. I'd like to visit. You know,
Australia is somewhere that I've never like
wanted to visit.
Being pushed. I think it's just the thought of the travel. Like if it was like 5 hours away, I'd yeah, great. I'd fuck that. That's
I know,
a long trip.
long, isn't it? Like even Chloe's total travel is going to be like 30 something hours between like the flight and the layover and then the second flight, and like it's fucking rough.
Like anything over, like when it comes to a flight, like what, 4 or 5 hours, yeah, it's doable. But when you start getting that a little bit longer, it's like when I went to the Philippines in January last year, like the flights there, like you can get a flight, a 12-hour, 13-hour flight to Hong Kong. Like my Mrs. Gracie, she's gone to Philippines now. Like she's gone just to spend 2-3 weeks with her family before Christmas, went to surprise them. And she went, what day is today? Saturday. Went Thursday, 13-hour flight from Manchester to Hong Kong. And then like you've a 2-3 hour wait, and then it's only like a 2-hour flight on. but I couldn't even imagine like the longest flight I think I did was 11 hours.
Same, yeah.
And like, that's crazy. But anything over that,
That's fucking long as well, because even if you've an 11-hour flight, even if you knock yourself out, like I can't do long distance without just fucking taking a load of Xanax and just going, or a load of Valium and just going to sleep, right? even at that, you fall asleep for 5 or 6 hours, you wake up then and you're waiting
you
around.
still have another 6 hours to go, and like they're even on about that. Like they're trying to get like, is there like a Melbourne to like London direct flight, like a 22-hour flight? Like I was only looking up because I love all that, from stuff like cars, planes. Like I love knowing how things worked and all that. I spend a lot of time looking at that stuff outside of bodybuilding, and they're on about that, like trial running at the minute, like a 23-hour. I think they got up to like 21 hours where they can with decent fuel efficiency. But imagine 22 hours sitting in a small little seat, like fucking hell.
You'd be blood pressure, blood clotting, PBs. I'd want to be wearing a full compression suit, not
Compression bodysuit, like
compression bodysuit. You'd want to be wearing for that. You want to be fucking careful there. You wonder, is that like healthy for you to be actually at that altitude for that long? You know, and because flying, even for people who are like overweight and stuff, it's not meant to be like the best. But look, I suppose it's only an acute spike. But
yeah,
you're on mute, Mark.
Jeez, I've 7 hours back to Dublin. 7.5 on the 19th.
I think that's the Dubai flight is just about doable. I think 7 hours is just, anything above that now is approaching too long. I think that 7-hour mark is kind of okay, you know.
Yeah, like I don't like it. That's not really much to me anymore. It's like it's just about perfect. I think I went to. I think New York was maybe 10 from Ireland.
No,
that's
New York's a short one. It's LA is like the 10.
Yeah,
Vegas was like 9.5, was it?
Vegas is like 10 hours nearly, mate.
Yeah, that was rough, man.
Yeah.
But Vegas is rough.
I had a flight from Vancouver to Heathrow before, and then I think I flew LAX to Vancouver, Heathrow, 3-hour 45-minute layover for a 45-minute flight back to Shannon. Oh, it was fucking brutal, and I didn't sleep a wink on the whole thing. That was when I came back from America in 2016. It was like a 2.5-hour flight followed by like a 11-hour flight or something like that, and then another fucking 45 minutes home. It was cruel.
You ever before you even like done long flights or got jet lag? We ever like being like, what is jet lag? Do people like what? Like I'm gonna be fine, and then the first time you get jet lag, you're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. It was bad. The first time we went to Vegas, Mark, it was really bad because remember, all of us got really sick that time. I remember that was the last time I was actually home for Christmas. Myself and Chloe flew back into London, and then we got a connecting flight from London back to Cork, I think. So that was kind of handy travel wise. But we were all off for the whole entire week. By the time I came back normal, because I was sick and I jet lagged, by the time I came back normal, sure, it was just time to go home and leave, you know. So that was I always get sick around Christmas time. That's why, touch wood, I'm hoping I'm not going to this year. I have a lot of clients, and I'm sure you're the same, the last week or two that have been pretty badly sick. I'm hoping that nasty flu that I got earlier in the year has given me a little bit of immunity to get through the Christmas.
Do you see though with the flu? I'm seeing it a lot with clients now, is that people are getting this flu 2 to 3 times in the space. Like they'll have it for 4 or 5 days, recover for 4 or 5 days, and get it again. Like, God knows what is going around with this. Like, for my, like, not touch wood, it's not onto that level, but like this flu seems a lot worse than like the start of that COVID back like in 2020. The amount of people that are sick, good, like it seems to be really repeating. Like, I had 2-3 weeks of it.
That flu I got earlier on in the year, I was 4.5 weeks out at the time. That was fucking vicious. Now, I don't know that it just hit me that hard because I was kind of ready at 4.5 weeks out. You know what I mean? I think I only dropped a kilo from there before I was on stage.
Remember that, man? Fuck.
I was peeled, but I was fucking. I went to the hospital. Like, I was so sick. I thought there was something seriously wrong with me. Oh, and they actually kept me. They wanted to keep me in there overnight and everything, like just with how my heart rate was and everything else like that. So I got a nasty fucking dose of it. But it's nothing worse. It's nothing worse than like a proper bad flu. Because you know when you get sick and you're like, oh, I'm sick, I've got the flu. No, you don't have the flu. If you the flu, you'd know all about it, you know, because the flu used to kill people in droves years and years ago.
Oh yeah.
See why?
You know what's a gripe of mine? You know when someone does a prep, right, and maybe you don't get like the place they want or something, and they'll just start bringing up everything that happened in a prep. You know, oh, my fucking
my cat died at 6 weeks out.
My cat died 6 weeks ago.
It's on the wallpaper on the phone then.
Yeah. Tattoo on their forearm.
Yeah. I mean, everybody even the people who don't talk about anything in prep, a lot of life shit happens in everyone's prep. It doesn't fucking matter.
Exactly.
Everyone deals with it.
Mate, I nearly used that as fuel when I was 4.5 weeks out and I got sick. And I remember like I had to take it was 2 weeks before I felt normal again. Literally 2 weeks before I actually felt like I'd come back to life. And I lost 2 weeks of prep. I lost 2 weeks of fat loss. We actually had to bring my food up for like 10 days in a row because Scoob was just like, you're not going to recover. Like you need food, you need the whatever. Like, so my body weight just didn't really move and didn't really budge. And I was doing fuck all steps and everything. But I was using that as fuel to be like, right, I'm not going to let this dictate the outcome of this prep. I'm just going to do what I need to do, not stress about it, control what I can control. I have plenty of time to get into the position that I need to get in. And then fucking it all worked out in the end, you know? A lot of people in that scenario, I know for a fact, they would have just pulled the prep. I see it all the time. Oh, I wouldn't be able to bring my best luck and blah, blah. It's like, well, did you fucking try? No, you didn't. You just pussied out and you just pulled out. You're looking for any excuse, you know? So yeah, that's a gripe of mine as well, Mark, to be honest. I put a gripe up my story yesterday as well about the motivation at this time of the year. I'd say my clients think I'm fucking calling them out because a lot of my clients have said that to me, but I'm not calling anyone out in particular. I hear it all the time though. I hear it on Instagram. I hear it from fucking everyone else. It's just like, I don't know. Is it just me or what? I love the winter. I never get any fucking SAD ever. Like I never feel fucking down in the wintertime. I love when it's dark. I get up in the morning. We're recording this podcast. It's still dark outside. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm ahead of the day here. I'm doing something productive. You know what I mean?
I know I'm obviously in Dubai and I can't fucking speak about, but mate, I'm only living here a few months. I've been in the dark winters. I feel low as well. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
As in like we do give a fuck, as in like, yeah, nobody wants to see anybody struggle mentally.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that your life has to stop.
No.
What happens if you don't go to work? You can't put food on your table. If you don't feel good and you're not going to show up to work, you fucking are. So why can't you tick the box you need to tick outside of work as well?
Yeah, I always say this to people as well. Why can you show up for other people? We can't show up for yourself. You know what I mean? And I always use the kind of analogy or example, like let's say you'd like a sick family member, right? And you were in charge of looking after them. You'd make sure that they're eating their meals. You'd make sure they're going out, they're getting, whatever. You're making sure they're taking their medicine. You're making sure they're doing everything they need to do to be in a good position. But then when it comes to like looking after yourself, it's just self-destructive behaviors. No, I'm not going to eat good. No, I'm not going to do any exercise. No, whatever. Like people need to treat themselves like somebody they're responsible for treating, instead of just same with a dog. Like if you had a dog, you'd fucking walk it so it wouldn't turn into a fat piece of shit.
Well,
but you're not going out doing your steps and you're in eating celebrations because it's fucking dark and cold outside. Fuck off.
The thing is, this prep has given us that thing. Like all of us, like we're all morning people. Like we all love that 5 a.m. getting up. Like it's the most productive time for us. Yeah, it's cold. Throw on a fucking jacket, put a hat on, wear a set of gloves if you want. Like it's like, yeah, if it's pissing rain, yeah, you don't have to go out and if you don't want to.
I'm weird. I like the cold. I enjoy the cold. Like I love being wrapped up, having my hat on, my beanie, and having like just the cool air coming out. I like it. Like it's weird. I'm not built for the heat at all. I fucking hate when it's sweating in the summer. Like, don't get me wrong, it's lovely when it's sunny out and you can wear a short and the weather's nice and stuff. But I hate that really uncomfortable like heat feeling and sweat that you can't escape. Like I come in the evening time from the gym, I'm sitting on my couch, I'm inside, I'm not even out in the sun, and I can't stop sweating. The sweat is just tripping off me. It's so uncomfortable. That sticky kind of feeling where if I'm sitting here now, I'm in a jumper, I'm comfy. It's like it feels good.
Yeah.
My sleep is always better as well. My sleep's always better in the winter. The darkness and the cold, way better sleep.
Rooms are cold. That's one for Mark then. What were you thinking for summer 2026 in 50 degrees Dubai heat?
I'm not fucking leaving.
I was just gonna say he's not fucking moving. It's gonna be very difficult to get him to fucking pack up and move.
That's what I was wondering. Would he make that? Like I didn't think he would. I was just seeing.
Yeah.
I don't have any plans to I moved over here in the peak heat in the summer.
You did actually, yeah.
Like no, I leave, like I said, I don't leave the apartment really. So first thing in the morning I go for my walk. It's pretty hot, but I'm not absolutely soaking. And then I might go for a walk after the gym. So I'll go train. I'll come back. I'll go for my walk. I'll be soaking. I'll come back and shower, and then I'll be done. So
yeah,
like you're gonna be prepping next year anyway into the summer, will you? Yeah.
Yeah, I probably will be prepping in the summer. So I don't. Maybe after a year or two of being here, I'll get sick of it and be like, "Fuck that! I need somewhere else in the summer." But I think it's the novelty of being somewhere new as well, where I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, that'll take you through all right. For sure, yeah. Yeah, I think the Dubai show is in June, 20th of June or something. Because I wrote down all the shows in like an 8-week period in my kind of timeline / tracker, just so I can kind of know for myself what dates I'm kind of looking at. So, it's going to be pricey. Just the registrations alone, never mind the travel and the accommodation. Cost me fucking 1,500 quid, I'd say, if I end up doing 5 or 6 shows. Like,
you know, I went to Benus for legs today.
Seen that.
Andrew was there.
Was he? Wow.
Just seeing that now, probably.
I've seen every big person there is, so I'm like immune to it. Someone could strip off in front of me, and it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, but fucking hell, it's just like a man mountain. Just the presence is fucking crazy.
If you were to look like anyone, you'd look like him. Let's be real here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think he's probably got the most aesthetic,
pleasing physique, like with the muscle he has, like, and the height and everything.
And it's like, what does every just lad or bodybuilder want? They want the crazy arms, the crazy chest, the crazy abs. It's like all those muscles on him are just perfection. Like his arms, man, his biceps and triceps are the sickest ever. Like I know Nick Walker's got like huge like cannon arms, but they're not like pretty like Andrew's.
No, they're not. They don't have the insertions that Andrew has. Like Nick's are just like boulders sitting there with no shape or like sculpt to them.
Yeah, Andrew's just looked like he was in a sleeveless top, and they were just like hanging off him, like triceps like hanging off the back of his arm. You know, it's just crazy.
I think he's gonna win the Arnold and win the Olympia like Derek did this year.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And if he and obviously Derek is out for the Arnolds now, so Andrew and Martin are going into that. I think obviously if Andrew shows up the same way he does, I don't think Martin's going to beat him as good as Martin is.
Nick as
and
well.
Then if he wins that show, and then he should probably do another show if he can. But even if he wins the Arnolds, he's going to have that hype going into him at the Olympia. The judges are going to bring him straight into that first call out now. Like they're going to have him and fucking Hattie and Derek right there. Like you know.
I'd love to see, right? Someone like Andrew come in, like he's going to be his best next year, and just fucking run like 10, 12 shows.
Yeah.
And just win every one of them.
Yeah.
You'd love to see it, wouldn't you?
If I was Andrew, I'd fucking do it. That's for sure. Anyway.
Not even from a money perspective, but like just imagine no one else has done something like that.
Just to be the guy.
10 shows in a year winning. Be nuts.
And it can be done because like Sass did 8 shows this year, and I listened to him on Think Big podcast, and I listened to that, and he was just going over obviously his protocols and how he was dropping things out and bringing things in, and very fucking simple what he was doing, lads. He's basically just running tests. He's just running tests, and then he'd add in a little bit of this or a little bit of that, you know, but not fucking crazy cycle that he was doing whatsoever, you know. Test is best.
What are you doing today? You training?
Training.
Upper on the cards, so I'll probably just fucking go for a coffee or something after this. Well, I think Chloe's getting her hair done, so I might not be able to do that, but I did a clear out yesterday of like all my clothes. You just moved, Max, so you know how satisfying this is. I just did a clear out all my clothes. Big box of shit I'm going to get rid of. Big box of shit I'm just going to sell. Everything is all just nice and neatly now in the wardrobe and the drawers and all that. I was the whole day doing it yesterday, boys. So it took me ages.
Man,
it's so satisfying though when it's done.
Yeah, Chloe had her Christmas work party last night, so I was like, right, I'll fucking do this now, you know, because I ripped the whole fucking bedroom apart. But yeah, I felt so good after it. My mind was just decluttered, you know.
Mate, it's like over here now. Like I don't have much. I came over with 2 cases. It's staying like that. I'm not buying stupid shit. I want to live like minimalistic. It's like clear place, clear mind. It's fucking unbelievable.
Yeah. Even fucking since I've been here, I'm after collecting some amount of shit. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, and then for you know, Chloe will buy like the Halloween decorations and Christmas decorations, and I keep going, we don't need all this shit, though. Don't be buying too much stuff. I don't mind the Christmas tree, but all these little trinkets here and there. I'm like, where are we fucking putting all this? Like, what happens when we move? Like, we're going to need to get a skip, you know?
Mate, that's like, I never want to fucking move again.
I know.
Fucking hell.
I know. I'm after living in some amount of houses in my time. I think I'm after living in like fucking 17 different houses or something like that. So moving is like, I'm a pro at moving at this stage, but it's still fucking a pain in the hole. You know, it'll be hard though. Like I'm planning on doing a bit of travel like at some stage, right? And like I have notions in my head of like traveling around, living in a load of different places, you know, month here, month there at a time and stuff like that. But that'll be really hard for me going from being very Groundhog Day in my routine, in my environment, having everything in my place, because that's how I like. I'm real fucking OCD and autistic like that. I know you're probably very similar, lads, but like it'd be weird to try and transition to being a little bit more, I don't want to say chaotic, but just trying to set up different place all the time, being very minimalistic, like Mark says, like, right, how little shit can I bring with me to still make sure I can do everything I need to do and stay on track and fucking,
There we go. That's what I'm just happy now I have a home base that none of my stuff has to leave here. If I want to go somewhere for a month, I don't need to bring all my shit with me. I can just leave it. So that just gives me peace of mind knowing that I don't have to carry my fucking life. I think if you were going to go back to the UK, you could probably just get a storage unit.
Yeah. I don't think I will though.
Yeah.
I don't think I will be, to be honest. Like once I leave here, if I am going to do a little bit of travel, I think after that I'll probably be fucking moving back home to Ireland, to be honest, because at that stage I'm going to be having a fucking kid, I'd say, touch wood. So we'll have to see what the swimmers are like,
what the protocols are like. Then
yeah. I might get a fucking fertility test after prep, just out of curiosity, just to see where it's at, just to see where the sperm count is at, where the sperm motility is at. Even though seeing Nate Styles knock Phoebe up after 7 years of usage.
I was chatting to Nate in person about that literally probably 6 weeks ago at a show, and like he said it there, like it took him, was it like 6-7 months after 15 years of gear use, and like excessive use, because that's what he was saying, because he was on about now saying like, would he do that kind of like the freezing process and all that, but he said like, look, I did this in 6-7 months. If we want to have another kid in 2-3 years, I'm going to trust the process, because like I know everyone's different. Like I've had it with clients as well. Like I had one client who wanted it, and we did a protocol with him, and I think it was 12-13 weeks, and he got his missus pregnant. Like, but then some people could be 18 months. Like,
this is the thing, you kind of have to factor that in. I'm trying to factor that in my mind as well, or what if, just in case. But even for Nate, he was going to do the whole freezing thing and this and that, but he's like, well, if it worked this time, I'm assuming it's going to work again, sort of a thing, you know. But for me, like, I'd probably like to have kids in like quick enough succession, so I'm like, am I going to go through that process and then go back on cycle for like fucking 8 or 9 months and then do a fertility protocol again? It's like, and I was going to try and see, could I like, you know, drop down, stay in a lower dose, run all the drugs, then do it. But I feel like the way Nate did it was better. It's just like, come off completely, slam all the fertility drugs, just go from 0 to 100, no fucking about in between, and just see what happens, like, you know. So, yeah.
Well, that's the thing he was saying too, is just like, if you are freezing, like the cost in like the storing it and everything, like it's £300-400 a month for storage, and then whatever it costs the extraction and all that. Like, so that's what they're kind of saying, that like if you didn't want to have a kid for 4 or 5 years, you could end up spending like thousands in just this storage as well. Then as well, when what he did with his protocol, he said, if I can do that again, it's gonna be cheaper.
And it's still fucking quite expensive though. All those HCG and HMG are fucking expensive.
HMG is the one now as well, because like you go through that a week, like a vial of that is a week, and it's what, like 30-35 quid.
Yeah, and I think what
could I get that in Turkey, actually? I
think what he said he did as well, though, was he actually changed from doing a bolus dose 3 times a week and that to doing it daily.
Daily, yeah.
Joe Jeffries told him to do that, and I think he said that kind of worked quite well. So yeah, obviously there's loads of different ways of doing it, but it can be done, can't it? It can be done. But I'm going to get a fertility test anyway, just out of interest to see where it's at. Like, right, is it at fucking 0 after 7 years of continuous gear use, or are there still some swimmers there? Because, like, look, guys, pro bodybuilders still get their misses knocked up fucking 2 weeks out from a show and shit like that.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. Like, you know, Brett Wilkin did it, Sean Clarita did it, Joe Placios as well. Like, he's a kid, you know, all of them like full blown on cycle.
I'd be straight away like, go get a fucking DNA test right now.
Little I was like, baby coming out or something like that.
I don't believe that.
Yeah, how's that possible?
Yeah. I feel like you'd know straight away though if it was yours or not. But yeah. hopefully anyway the kid has good genetics. That's all I care about.
I wouldn't. I'm not going to have a kid just so I don't have to put it through what I went through. Poor genetics. I don't want to go through that.
You never know though. You never know. Could get the old Thai genetics from Jim, and it could be a blend. It could be Caucasian dry with the the Thai shape.
Yeah.
Working out well. Same as you, Mike, as well.
Oh, that's what we'll see. Like, can we break the trend of the Irish genetics just screwing us over? But that's us then today. Like, so what about tomorrow? In through next week, do anyone else do we have anything else coming up? Bar the Christmas travels, just turning up each day. Yeah,
I think the next week now is going to be pretty quiet for me. So next weekend's podcast, guys. After that, we'll be at home the following weekend. So we'll have
to get one lined in at home then as well, like from the home picture too.
Yeah. Let us know, Mike, if you're going to be home and what your story is going to be, what your plan of action is going to be. We'll probably have a little bit more time over the Christmas, so we'll try and do a Christmas special if anyone wants to ask any questions, or we could talk about New Year. Goals for the new year, all those other sort of things. I think that would be a good topic.
We'll definitely keep these every week, though. Yeah, every week we'll be doing them. Definitely.
Yeah,
I enjoy the catch up. To be fair,
definitely.
I've got really good feedback. I think that's the thing for us. We're literally just having a chat, and I think that's what people like.
Yeah,
it's it's not fake, it's not put on, it's just us chatting. So
yeah, exactly. Even bar the first podcast, guys. Obviously, before the first podcast, we had a little bit of a chat about what we're going to do about it. But this morning, I just we all got on the call and I went, "Well, lads, what's the story?" Right? I hit record and just boom, we just rattled off straight away. So we're trying to keep them like that, just speaking about and talking about just anything that kind of pops up. I didn't ask for questions on Instagram this week because I didn't want to be like every week
now. It's
doing questions. I feel like people wouldn't ask the questions then, or they might get a little bit burnt out, or there might be a little bit of repetition. But we'll do questions just fucking intermittently every 2 weeks or every now and again if we feel like we need them.
Yeah.
But we appreciate everyone watching and the kind words as well. I'm glad we're not boring you. So
yeah.
Once we're getting good feedback and people are enjoying them,
we'll keep going.
Yeah. Exactly. So appreciate it, guys. We'll leave that there for this week's episode, and we'll catch up to you next week.